Welcome to Thrive and Travel. Today, we're diving into a timeless classic from 1899, A Message to Garcia by Elbert Hubbard. This short but powerful book is all about initiative, doing the job you're given without excuses or endless questions. It tells the true story of U.S. Army officer Andrew Rowan, who was sent on a dangerous mission to deliver a letter to rebel leader Garcia during the Spanish-American War. Rowan didn't ask, "Where is he?" or "How do I get there?" He just got it done. Hubbard's message: stop overcomplicating, stop procrastinating, be self-reliant, take responsibility, and get the job done without needing to be told every step. Enjoy.
If you work for a man, in heaven's name work for him. If he pays wages that supply you your bread and butter, work for him, speak well of him, think well of him, and stand by him, and stand by the institution he represents. I think if I worked for a man, I would work for him. I would not work for him a part of his time, but all of his time. I would give an undivided service or none. If put to the pinch, an ounce of loyalty is worth a pound of cleverness. If you must vilify, condemn, and eternally disparage, why, resign your position, and when you are outside, damn to your heart's content. But, I pray you, so long as you are a part of an institution, do not condemn it. Not that you will injure the institution. Not that, but when you disparage the concern of which you are a part, you disparage yourself. And don't forget, I forgot, won't do in business. This literary trifle, A Message to Garcia, was written one evening after supper, in a single hour. It was on the 22nd of February, 1899, Washington's birthday, and we were just going to press with the March Philistin. The thing leaped hot from my heart, written after a trying day, when I had been endeavoring to train some rather delinquent villagers to abjure the comatose state and get radioactive. The immediate suggestion, though, came from a little argument over the teacups, when my boy Bert suggested that Rowan was the real hero of the Cuban War. Rowan had gone alone and done the thing, carried the message to Garcia. It came to me like a flash. Yes, the boy is right, the hero is the man who does his work, who carries the message to Garcia. I got up from the table and wrote, A Message to Garcia. I thought so little of it that we ran it in the magazine without a heading. The edition went out, and soon orders began to come for extra copies of the March Philistin. A dozen, 50, 100. And when the American News Company ordered 1,000, I asked one of my helpers which article it was that had stirred up the cosmic dust. "It's the stuff about Garcia," he said. The next day, a telegram came from George H. Daniels, of the New York Central Railroad, thus: "Give price on 100,000 Rowan article in pamphlet form, Empire State Express advertisement on back, also how soon can ship." I replied giving price, and stated we could supply the pamphlets in 2 weeks. Our facilities were small and 100,000 booklets looked like an awful undertaking. The result was that I gave Mr. Daniels permission to reprint the article in his own way. He issued it in booklet form in editions of 500,000. 2 or 3 of these 500,000 lots were sent out by Mr. Daniels. And in addition, the article was reprinted in over 200 magazines and newspapers. It has been translated into all written languages. At the time Mr. Daniels was distributing the message to Garcia, Prince Hilikov, director of Russian railways, was in this country. He was the guest of the New York Central, and made a tour of the country under the personal direction of Mr. Daniels. The prince saw the little book and was interested in it, more because Mr. Daniels was putting it out in such big numbers, probably, than otherwise. In any event, when he got home he had the matter translated into Russian, and a copy of the booklet given to every railroad employee in Russia. Other countries then took it up, and from Russia it passed into Germany, France, Spain, Turkey, Hindustan, and China. During the war between Russia and Japan, every Russian soldier who went to the front was given a copy of the Message to Garcia. The Japanese, finding the booklets in possession of the Russian prisoners, concluded that it must be a good thing, and accordingly translated it into Japanese. And on an order of the Mikado, a copy was given to every man in the employ of the Japanese government, soldier or civilian. Over 40 million copies of A Message to Garcia have been printed. This is said to be a larger circulation than any other literary venture has ever attained during the lifetime of the author, in all history, thanks to a series of lucky accidents. A Message to Garcia. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Proverbs 25:13. In all this Cuban business there is one man who stands out on the horizon of my memory like Mars at perihelion. When war broke out between Spain and the United States, it was very necessary to communicate quickly with the leader of the insurgents. Garcia was somewhere in the mountain fastnesses of Cuba, no one knew where. No mail or telegraph message could reach him. The president must secure his cooperation, and quickly. What to do? Someone said to the president, "There is a fellow by the name of Rowan who will find Garcia for you, if anybody can." Rowan was sent for and was given a letter to be delivered to Garcia. How the fellow by the name of Rowan took the letter, sealed it up in an oilskin pouch, strapped it over his heart, in 4 days landed by night off the coast of Cuba from an open boat, disappeared into the jungle, and in 3 weeks came out on the other side of the island, having traversed a hostile country on foot, and delivered his letter to Garcia, are things I have no special desire now to tell in detail. The point I wish to make is this. McKinley gave Rowan a letter to be delivered to Garcia. Rowan took the letter and did not ask, "Where is he at?" By the eternal. There is a man whose form should be cast in deathless bronze, and the statue placed in every college in the land. It is not book learning young men need, nor instruction about this or that, but a stiffening of the vertebrae which will cause them to be loyal to a trust, to act promptly, concentrate their energies, do the thing, carry a message to Garcia. General Garcia is dead now, but there are other Garcias. No man who has endeavored to carry out an enterprise where many hands are needed, but has been well nigh appalled at times by the imbecility of the average man, the inability or unwillingness to concentrate on a thing and do it. Slipshod assistance, foolish inattention, dowdy indifference, and half-hearted work seem the rule, and no man succeeds, unless by hook or crook or threat, he forces or bribes other men to assist him, or mayhap, God in his goodness performs a miracle and sends him an angel of light for an assistant. You, reader, put this matter to a test. You are sitting now in your office. 6 clerks are within your call. Summon anyone and make this request. Please look in the encyclopedia and make a brief memorandum for me concerning the life of Correggio. Will the clerk quietly say, "Yes, sir," and go do the task? Or will the overwhelming complexity of the request paralyze him, that he cannot find or will not? Or will you find him, after much delay and trouble, making some suggestion for improving your plan? There is a fellow who will do the thing, or else get out of the way while some other fellow does it. Handy men need not apply. You cannot drive a nail with a lead pencil, or anything else but a hammer. Then someone says, "But there aren't 100 of the men in this country that you could depend upon to carry a message to Garcia." Such a suggestion is not warranted by the facts. I know an important, very active man of affairs who is always surrounded by young men who do things. Good young men, who hear and do not question. Soldiers are made, not born. You can go into any college and pick out 10 men who do things without being told. They are naturally leaders. Soldiers are made, not born. They learn impulse control. That is what discipline is. Self-control is the first requisite of an efficient soldier. Absolute reliance on the orders of properly constituted authority. That is the essence of discipline. No organization can go up into action without men who have self-control enough so that when they get a command, they will obey, and not stop to ask questions. The poet has said very well, "He who waits to know certainty shall never act." But a man may be prompt, and efficient, and courteous. Even so is a good leader. You cannot agitate a man into leadership. If you can't persuade a man to follow once in a while, you haven't got a leader. People who talk most about self-control in this world are the ones who haven't got it. All the talking about self-control, or professionalism, or efficiency, will not make a man do a thing, not if he is not trained. Do something. Make a start. Here in Death the Preacher, a message to Garcia, as written by Fra Albertus and done into a book by the Roycrofters at their shop, which is in East Aurora, New York.